Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing well today. See, I guess good morning. We'll wait until the jail gets on and then we'll get started. So as soon as they get on, we'll get started. Thank you. Morning, courtroom 2. We're ready to begin as soon as you all are.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Dotis.
Honor,
Yes.
I'm going to start with, I didn't even get the cards ready, but we're going to start with Mr. Harvey, Jonathan Harvey.
Your Honor, we're gonna have to hold on Mr. Harvey. I need to speak with the ASG.
Okay.
Harvey.
As soon as I connect to Zoom, I'll send him a message. Thank you.
Then we can go to Mr. Purnell. In that position, 29.
Okay.
Purnell, come on. Mike.
Not this time, right?
Good morning. And this is going to be a negotiated plea.
Let's see, Your Honor, number 29. Yes, it is.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Purnell. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Very good, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me, sir? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Nemine. How are you today?
I'm good, Your Honor.
I'm great.
Is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can proceed. Thank you.
Oh,
For Mr. Purnell, the state is offering 12 months, 32 days credit for time served. Balance probate, 8 weeks of anger management, no further contact with the victim, and stay away from the location.
Okay, and can you tell me the victim's name and the stay away location, please?
Yes, Your Honor, give me 1 second.
Right, so.
While she's getting that information, Mr. McLean, go ahead.
Your Honor, he would like to ask the court to accept his negotiated plea of guilty. We stipulate to venue and identification and factual basis.
Mr. Purnell, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003943F, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Purnell. Let's see, when you complete the 8 weeks of anger management, the probation will terminate. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on probation, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, and Ms. Nemini, did you get that information for me?
Yes, Your Honor, it's 620 Glen Iris Drive Northeast.
Okay,
And
and the victim?
the victim is Miss Julie Stevens.
You understand, Mr. Purnell, that you can have no contact with Ms. Stevens and you have to stay away from that Glen Iris location, okay?
Sure.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Purnell.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 22, Mr. Johnson, Prince Anthony.
And Your Honor, I did see Mr. Johnson's family in the lobby. They wanted to appear on Zoom. They were given the Zoom link. I don't see them on yet. Oh, they behind us? Oh, my apologies. Okay. Understood, Your Honor. Then you have to be ready for positions 22 and 23.
And yes, what are we doing with Mr. Johnson this morning?
For both positions, we are going to waive arraignment and enter a plea of not guilty and request to address bond.
Okay. Let's see, who do we have on from pretrial this morning?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Yes. Good morning, Ms. Tyson. Could I
Good
get
morning.
Mr. Johnson's history, please?
Yes. Mr. Johnson looks like he has 9 arrest cycles beginning in 2016. He does have a misdemeanor conviction out of Forest Park for marijuana possession less than 1 ounce. He received first offender treatment on that September 2016. His first offender was revoked April of 2017. He has 1 violation of probation, 1 FTA. I'm sorry, 2 FTAs. And it appears his last arrest before the case that's on the calendar was out of Clayton County. And that was July of 2020 for marijuana possession less than 1 ounce and driving while license suspended. GCIC just indicates that a warrant was issued October of 2022. No other disposition is listed on the GCIC. Nothing to add, Your Honor.
Anyone? Do we know the current bonds? I can't modify it if I don't know what it is.
My apologies, Your Honor. I didn't hear the question asked. For position 22, the current bond is a $3,500 surety bond. For position 23, the 2017 case, the bond is currently a $6,000 cash bond.
And how is that split up, Mr. Dotis?
Your Honor, it's $3,000 for count 1 cash and $3,000 for count 2 in cash.
Okay, and I take it that this, that he must have missed a court hearing on this 2016. On the 2016 or 2017 case?
Yes, Your Honor, that's my understanding.
And did a division judge enter that cash bond?
One moment, Your Honor, I can double check. Hold on, sir. Your Honor, it looks like that was entered on June. One second, Your Honor. I'm not clear on who issued it. I see a note on the order for bond for the case number ending in 3919 with the note that a 6,000 cash bond was entered on the 21st of June, 2023. I'm not clear who the judge was that entered that. I'm not if it was the division judge or not. If the state has any more information, my laptop is being a little slow.
Judge Edline issued the cash bond back in June 2019.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Champion. And you know, my position on these, Mr. Dote, is that if the division judge entered the cash bond, that you'll have to go back to Judge Edline if you seek modification.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Johnson.
We got the red chair. Oh. I'm gonna put Mr. Johnson in the red chair.
Position 2, Bieber.
That's a conflict.
Is Ms. McLeod on with us as of yet? Okay. I don't see Ms. McLeod on the line yet.
Okay, we can move on. Position 3, Bray.
Let me switch one of my space.
Please talk to me.
Right. Sit down. We need
Position 25, Lingerfeld.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Lingerfeld is a not guilty. We're going to waive a formal reading of the accusation. We know what it says.
Okay.
His bond is $1,000. He's been trying to make it.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Lingerfeld. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. I have a question.
You can ask Mr. McLean your question. Mr. McLean, you want to take that? You want to mute yourself and have him?
Let me put this
Ask
on
you.
you for just a second, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Yes. The question was simply about, we're going to ask the court for a modification of bond in a moment.
Okay, all right. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Lingerfeld?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 003980G with battery. This charge carries a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and/or $1,000 fine. It's my understanding, Mr. McLean, that you're waiving formal reading of the accusation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. We know what the accusation says.
Okay, how do you plead, Mr. Lingerfeld? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Okay, we'll record your not guilty plea. Your case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. Let's see, Ms. Tyson, does Mr. Lingerfeld have a history?
Yes, Your Honor. Defendant has 4 arrest cycles beginning in 2014. Let's see, he had a misdemeanor case out of Clark County for the furnishing, purchase of, or possession by persons below legal age of alcoholic beverage. He had received pretrial diversion for that. The case was dismissed December 2014. He has a case out of Duluth for marijuana possession less than 1 ounce that he received pretrial diversion on also.
Can't hear you.
He completed that diversion program and the case was dismissed May of 2019. And his last arrest was out of Johns Creek, November of 2021 for criminal trespass, misdemeanor criminal trespass. No dispositions listed on the GCIC for that case, Your Honor. Nothing to add.
And the facts of this case, Ms. Bimini?
I'm sorry.
I'm asking the solicitor for the facts of this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bravo covers that.
The residential and not.
Inpatient, yes, sir.
How long were you there?
30 days, and then they're gonna help me find like, halfway living.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I can't hear you.
Said, are you with me? I asked for the facts of the case.
Oh, I apologize. Okay, so this incident did occur at 11555 Johns Creek Parkway at Lifetime Fitness. Officers arrived at the location and spoke with Mr. Morris Nelson, the victim, who told officers that he walked out of the sauna at the gym and asked defendant if he could move over so he could grab his cell phone, or no, not his cell phone, but his goggles, because defendant was sitting in front of the sauna with his phone. Then Mr. Nelson asked defendant to move to a different area so he wasn't in the way. Defendant stood in Mr. Nelson's face, the victim, and pushed him. And then Mr. Nelson pushed him back. There is video footage which shows Mr. Nelson, the victim, walking away from the encounter, and defendant reapproached Mr. Nelson, getting into Mr. Nelson's face, in which Mr. Nelson pushed defendant away again, and then defendant walked up, punched him on the left side of his temple with a closed face, and the victim, Mr. Nelson, did walk away.
Okay. You're asking for the bond to meet, it's $1,000 good bond, Mr. McLean?
Right, I believe it's about $1,000 good bond right now, and he's asking the court to consider a signature bond, given his criminal history and the fact that he tells me his sister has made arrangements to go into, for him to go into Roswell recovery for 30 days and then a halfway house. So he's going to a rehab.
Okay, so I'm gonna convert the good bond to a signature bond with all the same conditions, Mr. McLean, and if you'll also add the conditions that he report to that halfway house.
Exactly. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Lingerfeld.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Who do we have next?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Position 32, Mr. Smith.
And if you wouldn't mind, we have a private attorney on the line, Mr. Jacobs. If you wouldn't mind, if you have Aaron James in the courtroom with you, if we can do that case after this one.
What's the name?
Aaron.
Position 21, Aaron James. Is that right, Mr. Jacobs?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Aaron
Okay, so-
James actually refused.
Okay,
If I kind of expected that, Your Honor, if I could address that after this next case.
okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Tell me again who we have here.
This is position number 32, Mr. Smith.
Okay, thank you. And this is a negotiated plea?
Yes, Your Honor. It's a time served period, so it doesn't get any simpler than this, and he's.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Smith. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Walker. Good morning.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. It is time served 18 days.
And For the paperwork, 12 months to serve, 18 days, credit for time served, 18 days balance suspended.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. McLean?
That works. Thank you, Your Honor. He does stipulate to the necessary elements of venue identification and factual basis, and he asks the court to accept his plea according to the terms and status laid out.
Mr. Smith, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003897C, you wish to plead guilty to willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, speeding, and driving while your license was suspended or revoked. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Smith. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And quickly to position number 21, Aaron James. Yes, Mr. Jacobs.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. James has some mental health issues. His mom is on the line on Zoom right now. He has a $3,000 pretrial release bond, but the reason he's still in is he has refused to sign the paperwork at the jail to be released. His mom applied on June 23rd and was granted an emergency guardianship over him. So what I'm asking the court to do today is to modify the bond so that his mom can go down there, present that paperwork, and sign the bond and get him out. She's got a facility she wants to take him to get mental health treatment.
Okay, Mr. Walker, you have any
There's no
objection?
objection. No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, so if you'll get the paperwork to me, Mr. Jacobs, I will get it signed so that you can get him out, okay?
And should I send that to Ms. Champion?
Yes, please.
Okay, I will send that momentarily.
All right, very good.
All right, thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. All right, thank you.
Who do we have next?
Position 34, Swenson.
And what's the announcement on Mr. Swenson?
34.
Oh, Swenson, 34. That's not guilty. Sorry, Your Honor, that's a, did you want to make it 200 or not? Okay. Gotcha. Your Honor, that was a to be announced, and I spoke with him in the back of the room earlier. This is a one count obstruction. He wishes to plead guilty and accept the state's offer of time served.
Okay, and that's 12 months to serve, 10 days, credit for time served, 10 days, balance suspended.
That is
Mr.
correct,
Walker?
Your Honor. That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. McLean, before I take the plea?
I have warned him that this could affect any existing probations, and he's willing to take that risk. He'll explain himself to his probation judge if it comes up.
Okay. Mr. Swenson, yes, good morning. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Swenson, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 004045F, you wish to plead guilty to willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept your plea as negotiated, Mr. Swenson. Good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, out of abundance of caution, let me just mention for the record that position number 34 is the uncle of position number 26, but these two things have nothing whatsoever to do with each other. I just happened to notice they had the same emergency contacts and found out they were relatives, but I wasn't planning on calling either person as a character witness for a bond reduction on either one of them. So since they factually had nothing to do with each other, I just thought I'd mention that to the court.
Okay, thank you, Mr. McLean.
Position 38, Webb.
Oh, okay, not yet. All righty,
So this is 38 and 39 at 30.
Well- he's gonna change, we had written down, Your Honor, it's 36, 37, 38, 39. Three of those are new offenses charged. One is an FTA offense, which would have been null pros if there's a plea on the others. I had written down negotiated plea. I believe I may be mistaken. I believe he may wish for a bond reduction instead, and ask the court for that while pleading not guilty. Is that correct? Okay, so that's, sorry, Your Honor. So it would be a not guilty. We will waive the formal reading of the accusations, and he would ask the court to consider as low a bond as possible.
Did he miss a court date on one of these cases?
The FTA is number 38, and the date is mentioned in there on the calendar on the right-hand side, if I can grab the calendar. 38. Thank you.
One second, and I'm looking.
On May the 15th of 2023, that would have been charged as a failure to appear for one of these, I believe.
Okay, so you know my position in regards to failures to appear. If the bond is issued by a division judge, then I return it to the division judge for modification. So I'll do the same in these cases.
Understood, Your Honor.
Let's see, does he need to be arraigned on these charges?
Right, Your Honor. We will waive the formal reading of the accusations, and we have copies of them. We understand what they say, and the court will
Okay.
find them up court dates and what the maximum punishment is. They'll probably take care of it.
All right. Mr. Webb, good morning. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
So help me God. Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down, Mr. Webb. Let's see, position number 36, you've been charged in case 23 CR 0034443C with theft by shoplifting and criminal trespass. In case 23 CR 003926B, position 37, you've been charged with criminal trespass. In position 39, 23 CR 001674B, you've been charged with criminal trespass. Each of these charges carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. It is my understanding from your counsel that reading of the formal waiver of reading of the formal accusations in the case. How do you plead to these charges, Mr. Webb? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
We will record your not guilty plea. Your cases will be returned to the division judge, and you'll get notification of your next hearing date, Mr. Webb. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position number 35, Mr. Weatherby.
That, Your Honor, appears to be a negotiated plea.
Good morning, Mr. Weathersby. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? I see that you're holding your crutches there, but do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down. Yes, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the offer is 17 days time served, balance suspended with the condition of a stay away of 1669 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard and no further contact with the victim, Shanita, CHUNITA, Diane Berry.
Mr. McLean?
Right, and that's BERRY. He understands the conditions, Your Honor. He stipulates the factual basis, venue, and identification. He asked the court to accept his negotiated plea of guilty.
Mr. Weathersby, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003893D, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and damage to property. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Weathersby. Good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, thank you. I do have a phone call, I believe, from a relative of one of my clients who may zoom in if I can take that for a moment.
Okay.
So, can I do your case then? Huh?
Okay, let's see what we got.
Okay.
Position 18, Harvey.
This involves in family violence intervention.
And this will be a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Harvey. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Ms. Nimini?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking 12 months to serve 90 days. Credit for time served, balance probated, alcohol, drug, and evaluation treatment.
And my apologies, I didn't mean to cut you off. I spoke with Mr. Walker. I believe there was an updated offer. I'm not sure if Mr. Walker conveyed that.
I believe that's what she was reading, Attorney Dodes.
She was reading the original offer. I sent you a counter and you said that's fine. My understanding was that was okay.
It would be best for you and I to fully discuss this in the visitation booth and put it off till Tuesday.
Okay,
They have not gonna stop.
I didn't realize that you were asking for a reduction in days. I thought you were talking about the probated conditions.
Okay.
But with that being said, it could be 34 days, credit for time served, 17 days with the alcohol and drug evaluation. My apologies.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. No problem.
$600 in probation per year. And you have-
Okay, so can I get a full accounting of what the offer was or is?
Never, no. The
So it's
law,
gonna be 12 months to serve, 34 days, credit for time served, 17 days. Balance probated with the conditions of an alcohol and drug evaluation and also a stay away.
that's why we just.
Avenue address?
Yes, Diamond, if you have it, you can
Yeah.
set it.
10745 Woodland Avenue, Northeast Unit 2.
Okay, and so there's no request for theft course or community service?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Walker. Let's see, is that your understanding, Mr. Dodes?
Yes, Your Honor. That's our understanding of the offer. We would ask this court to accept it and do stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the purpose of this plea.
Okay. Mr. Harvey, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003868J, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and damage to property, criminal trespass and possession and use of drug-related objects. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir, I'm not.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Harvey. Let's see. When you complete the terms of the probation will go to a non-reporting status, okay? So the sooner you get through the ADET, the sooner you won't have to be on reporting probation, okay?
Yes, sir. Where do I go?
Oh, they'll let you know. He'll let you know, okay, Mr. Harvey?
Good luck, sir. I get out today.
Position 26,
Okay,
Mr. Mitchell.
I believe Attorney McLean is walking over.
Your Honor, I do have an announcement on a case where we had said TBA. Because of location matters, I was not able to interview Mr. Worthy yesterday, number 43. I have interviewed him now today. I've conveyed to him the state's offer. He would like to accept that on a pro se basis, and I told him that it looked like there wouldn't be any problem with that.
okay. So at the present time, Mr. McLean, we're on position number 26, Mr. Bernard Mitchell, I believe.
Yes, Your Honor, he is not guilty. We can waive a formal reading of the accusation. We know what it says. And the booking screen, booking sheet show a Department of Juvenile Justice hold, but he has spoken recently with them and believes that's not going to be a problem. And so he would like to ask the court to consider making his bond as minimal as possible, even if it's a signature bond, if that's possible.
Let me arraign him first. Good morning, Mr. Mitchell. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. You've been charged in case 23 CR 003678D with simple battery family violence. This charge carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and/or $1,000 fine. It's my understanding, Mr. McLean, that you're waiving formal reading of the accusation. How do you plead, Mr. Mitchell? Guilty or not guilty?
Move that real quick.
Couldn't hear that. Can you speak up?
You're on mute. 5 North. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty, Mr. Mitchell?
Not guilty.
We will record your not guilty plea. Your case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. What's the current bond?
2,500 short.
Oh, no.
And Ms. Tyson, what's the history?
Yeah, the defendant, it appears he has, let's see, I think it's 5 arrest cycles. Oh, yes, 5 arrest cycles beginning in 2017. It appears most of them are juvenile history. He does have a Douglas County juvenile court case for felony theft by shoplifting, theft by receiving stolen property, willful obstruction of law enforcement officer, fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer, and a hit and run, duty of driver to stop or return to scene. Disposition listed for that case says that it says other sentence condition transferred in state juvenile court for disposition. He has another felony case out of Forsyth County Juvenile Court for 38 counts of entering auto, 2 counts of theft by taking, theft by receiving stolen property in another state, unlawful person, employee associated with criminal street gang to conduct, participate criminal activity. Theft by receiving stolen property, disposition on the GCIC, stage transfer to another court, August of 2019.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tyson.
Okay.
I appreciate it. What are the facts in this case, Ms. Dominique?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident did occur June 9th of this year at 1586 Mosley Place, Southwest. The officers arrived at the location and they met with the victim, Miss Jaquila Freeman, who told the police that her child's father, Mr. Mitchell, grabbed and pushed her repeatedly after going through her phone and seeing that she was texting another man. So the state is still asking for bond to stay at 2,500 surety, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, his principal point is that he asked the court to consider, despite the arrest history read out, that it is a simple battery. It is a accusation of grabbing and pushing. He will face that in court at a later date. And so he would like to ask the court to consider a signature bond, or if not, a signature bond. I'm not sure what the bond is exactly right now, but he would like to ask the court to consider a $1,000 surety bond.
Can he make a $1,000 surety bond, Mr. McLean?
I believe he probably could. He has spoken to GJJ and they said, we're going to lift that hold. They've looked at it. Mr. Mitchell, can you make a $1,000 bond?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll lower it, I'll modify it to $1,000 good, Mr. McLean, with all the other conditions that were on the original bond, okay?
Exactly. We'll do an order, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Mitchell.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Ms. McLeod, I see that you're with us. You have a number of cases on the calendar. Are you in need of speaking with somebody prior to hearings today?
I have already spoken with most of my clients, Your Honor.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we accommodate you if possible. So just a note, courtroom, too, Ms. McLeod is now with us, so we can also do her clients.
Position 42. Mr. Withers.
And is this your case, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what are we going to do with Mr. Withers this morning?
We're going to arraign him, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Withers. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Say that again.
We're doing this by video. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Withers. You've been charged in case 23 CR 003995D with battery and riot. Each of these charges carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. Do you waive formal reading of the accusations, Mr. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead, Mr. Withers? Guilty or not guilty?
Yes.
It's my understanding that you're going to plead not guilty this morning, Mr. Withers. Have you changed your mind?
I can't really hear you, so I really don't know what you're saying. It's breaking up.
Okay, how do you plead to these charges? Guilty or not guilty?
Yes.
Okay, it's my understanding that you were going to plead not guilty today. Have you changed your mind?
Oh, I put not in front of that.
Okay, not guilty. We will record your not guilty plea. Your case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date, sir. Good luck to you.
Positions 3 and 4, 5 and 6 on the probation calendar.
You just go next.
Yes, Mr. Helm, good morning. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, Officer Allison.
Good morning, Your Honor.
You can proceed.
All right. Mr. Hims, he actually has two cases. One is 22CR 002804J. In this case, he was sentenced 12 months probation. He was not reporting for 4 counts. He missed a revocational hearing On January 25th of this year, he did not complete 90 hours of community service. And he did get a new possession charge in Fulton County on May 9th of 2023. On the next case, on 22 CR 003477J, he was sentenced to 12 months probation. And on this one, he just missed a hearing, same hearing on January 25th, 2023. He does have 2 months, 8 days left. Probation is doing a time served with a closing of the case. Time served will be 57 days in jail.
Any objection to that, Mr. Dotis?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, I'll accept probation's recommendation. Time served. Good luck to you, Mr. Helm.
Thank you.
Mr. Davidson, on the probation calendar, position 1 and 2.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Davidson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Officer Allison?
Yes. Mr. Davidson, case number 19CR001116Y, was sentenced to 12 months probation. He did not report on account of 4 times. He owes $49 in probation fees, $1,225 in court fines and surcharges. He did not complete a drug and alcohol evaluation, did not complete 240 hours community service, risk reduction was not completed, and also victim impact planner was not completed. Probation recommendation is to revoke. He does have 6 months and 2 days left on probation.
Mr. Dotis?
Thank you, Your Honor. We would request this court to reinstate Mr. Davidson. After speaking with him, I believe that he understands what is required of him and can meet his obligation and complete these requirements with his time left on probation. Regarding missing some of these deadlines, upon release back in January, Mr. Davidson struggles to get back on his feet. He needed to find a place to live and make sure that he had employment. He struggled with that and thought he had the full year to meet his obligations. Unfortunately, there was a separate matter that he learned about in DeKalb County that he was in custody for from March to June. I was unable to get a proof of incarceration with our limited amount of time. He did try to reach out to the probation office from the DeKalb County Jail, but only got a message. No one else returned his calls. He was not clear that he needed to report immediately, and he did think he had time until this unfortunate incident in DeKalb occurred. He is clear that if he's given a second chance, he'll need to report immediately. I provided him with the number as well as the address, and he understands that it's not enough just to leave a message. He needs to report in person and get started on these requirements. I have good contact. I have 2 good phone numbers for Mr. Davidson. I have a good address for Mr. Davidson, and he has a job awaiting him as a heavy equipment operator, and he can continue to work that when released, allowing him to make his financial obligations to probation. So, Your Honor, we would just ask for Mr. Davidson to have a second opportunity to meet his obligation.
Okay. I'm going to give you that opportunity, Mr. Davidson, because of your circumstances. You're to report immediately to probation. You are to make sure that you do not miss any of the times that you are supposed to report. You are to start doing that community service immediately, along with the other conditions. Officer Allison, if Mr. Davidson misses even one appointment, I want you to bring him back. So I'm going to give you the opportunity, Mr. Davidson, but if you violate any conditions of this probation again, then know that the probation will be revoked next time and you'll spend the balance in custody. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Davidson.
Thank you.
Position number 40, Mr. White, and he's a conflict case.
We had made an announcement of social worker visit needed for position 28, which is the same person as violation of probation allegation 7 and 8. And he would like to go forward. I've talked to him. He is much clearer this morning. And so I believe it would be okay to go forward and he'll make his argument.
Okay, so once we get to him, Mr. McLean, I think we're on Mr. Ronald White at the present time.
Correct.
Okay, and Ms. McLeod, are you representing, who's representing Mr. White?
She's on the phone right now with the client.
Oh, okay, thank you. So we'll have to come back to Mr. White in just a moment when his attorney is available. Do we have anyone else that we can take while Ms. McLeod is occupied?
Position 11. Mr. Daniel.
And I have that Mr. Daniels is represented by John Melnick. Is Mr. Melnick on the line? It doesn't appear that Mr. Daniels' attorney is with us as of yet. Let's see.
Can we go to ACDC, Your Honor? Position number 5, Ms. Bynum.
And Ms. Champion, if you can have someone try to raise Mr. Melnick.
There's no entry filed on position number 11, so I'm not quite sure of that attorney's information.
Oh, okay. Mr. Dodas, did you all speak with Mr. Daniel?
Yes, Your Honor. I went to speak with Mr. Daniel yesterday. He informed me that he did have a private attorney, and he told me his name was John Melnick, and that he made it appear that Mr. Melnick knew about this case and would appear.
Mr. Daniel, have you spoken with Mr. Melnick? Have you paid Mr. Melnick?
I did. I paid him. I paid him when I was on the street. I paid him in April to take the case.
Okay, well, he has not entered an appearance on your behalf, so he's not your attorney of record at the present time. So I can either have you speak with the public defender, or I can reset your case to see if we can clarify that. The case would have to be reset until next week. So
I'd rather speak with the public defender and have him take my case.
okay, Mr. Dodas, I'm not sure if you have what you need to speak with him, but I'll give you that opportunity. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you like me to speak with him now, or do you want me to wait until Mr. McLean's clients are ready?
Who do we have? If you have some clients there, then 5 North, we'll get back to Mr. Daniel once Mr. Dodas is able to speak with him. So.
Thank you. I do represent Ms. Bynum at ACDC.
Okay. What are we doing with Ms. Bynum this morning?
This will be a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Bynum. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Ms. Stafford. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. The state offer was 12 months to serve,
30 days, credit for time served, 15 days, balance suspended, stay away from 2273 Country Club Drive, Southwest in Atlanta.
Mr. Doders?
That's our understanding of the offer. We would ask this court to accept it and just stipulate to the 3 elements for the purpose of this plea.
Ms. Bynum, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 0038798, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
Yeah, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Bynum. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, I just have some information. For position 16 and 17, she is represented by Ms. Watson Cafe. I reached out to her this morning, but she's in court. Well,
I'm here.
Yeah,
you
Ms.
here?
Watson, yeah, she's here.
Okay, good. Would you please call 404-865-8122 for me, please?
865-8122.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Who do we have next?
Position 2, Mr. Beaver. That's Ms. McLeod's case.
Okay, what are we doing with Mr. Beaver?
Your Honor, that's actually Mr. Murphy's client, I believe, and he was aware. I did send him the Zoom link.
Okay, so we'll have to wait for Mr. Murphy to get on the line.
Come on, Mr. Bray. Position 3, Bray.
And this is a negotiated plea?
Yes, Your Honor. I did need to confirm jail time. But this should be a negotiated plea.
Okay, so can someone confirm? I've got that he's been in 14, says 14 days. I'm not sure if that's correct or not.
Your Honor, I have as of today been in for 15 days, and I believe he was yes. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, so the offer is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance. Well, you tell me, Ms. Stafford, what is the?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. 12 months to serve, 30 days, credit for time served, 15 days, balance probated, stay away from the Dollar Tree at 2636 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Southwest.
Does it need to be probated just for the stay away?
Just for the stay away, Your Honor.
Okay, so he can stay away, but the balance can be suspended if
Yes.
you don't mind. Okay, is that okay with you, Mr. Doders?
Yes, Your Honor, we were going to request that. That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, anything further?
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
Um,
To the factual basis, venue and ID for the purpose of this plea.
Mr. Bray, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003958C, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Perfect.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No road division.
Okay, I will accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Bray. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir. Position 1, Mr. Baker.
Ms. McLeod? What are we doing with Mr. Baker this morning?
Rating him, Your Honor.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Baker. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yeah.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down, Mr. Baker. You've been charged in case 23 CR 003996D with battery and riot. Each of these charges carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. Do you waive formal reading of the accusation, Ms. McLeod?
I do, Your Honor.
How do you plead, Mr. Baker? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
We will record your not guilty plea. Your case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Position 40, Ronald White.
And this is your case, Ms. McLeod?
Yes,
What are we doing with Mr. White this morning?
they're arraigning him as well.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. White. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. White. You've been charged in case 23 CR 003978J with battery. This charge carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. Do you waive formal reading of the accusation, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay, how do you plead, Mr. White, guilty or not guilty?
Yes.
Okay, it's my understanding that you were going to plead not guilty this morning, Mr. White. Has that changed?
Your Honor, I apologize. I apologize. He was going to plead not guilty. He was going to plead guilty.
Okay, so he's accepting the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Yes, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor, the offer is 12 months to serve, 52 days, credit for time served, 26 days, balance probated. Actually, I'm going to modify the offer because he's in jail. I don't think he's going to be released anytime soon. So it's going to be 12 months to serve, 52 days, credit for time served, 26 days, balance suspended, no further contact with the victim, Octavius Carter.
Is there a stay away, Mr. Walker, or not?
I mean, it happened in the jail, so.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, Ms. McLeod.
Yes, I was saying, Your Honor, that I was just shaking my head with respect to the stay away. I was going to say it's not possible since he's still
Okay.
in, and the incident happened in jail.
Okay. Anything further, Ms. McLeod?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. White, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003978J, you wish to plead guilty to battery. Is that correct?
Sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. White. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Position 4, Mr. Britt.
And this is a negotiated plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Brick. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you, sir. Ms. Stafford?
Yes, Your Honor. State's offer is 12 months to serve, 30 days, credit for time served, 15 days, balance suspended, and a stay away from 585 Dutch Valley Road, Northeast in Atlanta.
Mr. Dotis?
That's our understanding of the offer, and we do stipulate to the factual basic venue and ID for the purpose of this plea.
Mr. Britt, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003885G, you wish to plead guilty to criminal damage and criminal trespass and damage to property. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Britt. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Come on, Mr. Yeomans. Position 44, Yeomans.
See, that's what we'll be talking to right now.
McLean. That's yours. Put the mask on for me.
And this is going to be not guilty.
That's correct, Your Honor, with the bond request.
Good morning, Mr. Yeomans. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hands down. Thank you. Mr. Yeomans, you've been charged in case 23 CR 003894B with battery family violence. This charge carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. Do you waive formal reading of the accusation, Mr. McLean?
We do.
How do you plead, Mr. Yeomans, guilty or not guilty?
I plead not guilty, sir.
We will record your not guilty plea. Your case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. What is his current bond, Mr. Walker?
It's a $3,000 surety. And if Preacher could read the history, please.
Okay. Ms. Tyson?
Yes, can you give me one moment? I'm just trying to confirm one thing. 1 second.
Okay.
It's very, very unlikely. The woman that I'm relying on is not even directly related to me.
Yeah. Here's the defendant. He has one arrest cycle out of Virginia. I'm gonna waive sounding on that charge. It appears the disposition states it was an administrative discharge, but that case was in December of 2018. He has 3 arrest cycles out of Florida, one being an FTA, which was December of 2019. And he has a misdemeanor conviction for a hit and run leave scene of crash involving damage. Disposition date on that is October of 2020. And nothing further to add, Your Honor.
And if you'll put that other charge in the chat for me to me, Ms.
Okay.
Tyson. Thank
Okay.
you.
Mhm.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 907 Piedmont Ave. They spoke with the victim, whose name is Mr. Michael Acree. He advised the law enforcement that his living boyfriend approached him while he was in the kitchen cooking. The defendant did become physically aggressive with the victim, striking him several times. The officer did observe visible injuries on the victim's body. At that time, the defendant was arrested and charged with battery family violence. Currently is being held on a $3,000 surety. We are asking that the bond remain in place, along with no further contacting him, stay away from the incident location. And I would sound for the victim. I do not see him, but his name again is Michael Acree.
Yes, Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, he did tell me yesterday about the FTA Florida from December of 2019. He and I discussed methodologies of never missing court, how you always check with the clerk, even if you have to go in person. We had quite a conversation about that. He denies the Virginia matter. He says he's never been to Virginia and he can't imagine that being there. Your Honor, because of the nature of the charge, which he does realize is a serious charge, he would like to ask for a signature bond because he has contacted a friend who is hard to get hold of. $1,000 surety bond would be better than what he's got now, as far as him being able to make bond, but a signature bond would be super. We tried to get hold of his aunt, but simply because of the timing of things and the holidays, I have not been able to get his aunt on Zoom this morning.
All right, Mr. McLeod, I will modify it to $1,000 surety. I'll lower it for him. And with all the conditions that were on the original bond.
Right, such as stay away and no contact, correct? You understand?
Okay,
Thank you, Ron.
you're welcome. Who do we have next?
And did we need to do any kind of, oh, he played not guilty. I'm sorry. Very good. Thank you.
Next, we have on the probation calendar, positions 7 and 8, Mr. O'Malley.
Your Honor, I had put that down for a social worker visit, but he's in good shape today. We had a good discussion this morning. While the probation portion of his legal matters today is a recommendation to revoke the remaining 5 months and whatever on some days on the existing probation on a shoplifting. This is, I believe it is a shoplifting, and this is a new shoplifting, he admits. But we had a good discussion about what's going on, and the homelessness is a problem, but he understands that it can't be solved with shopliftings. He doesn't have very much in the way of community contacts, admittedly, but he's got people in Texas, and if he stays in Atlanta, he promises the court he will abide by all rules.
All right, let me hear what this is about first, Mr. McLean, if you don't mind. Officer Allison?
Yes, Mr. O'Malley, case number 22CR005766A. This is on a shoplifting offense. He was sentenced to 12 months probation. He missed reporting 3 times. He missed a revocational hearing on June 13th of 2023. He didn't complete a shoplifting course, and he does have new offenses, 2 of them, one from June 13th of 2023 in Fulton County, and the other one is March 25th of 2023 in Fulton County.
You know what those charges are?
Theft by taking.
Okay.
And he has 5 months and 1 day left. Probation is asking to revoke.
Yes, Mr. McLean.
I misstated the state. I didn't, it wasn't Texas, it's New Jersey that he's from.
Okay, anything further, Mr. McLean?
He's throwing himself in the mercy of the court, asking the court to consider that, he can do the probation on the existing charge that's on the calendar, and he will abide by that, and he'll take the step class. And so he would concurrently or concomitantly with that, he would ask the court to give him a break on the revocation.
Does he have housing, Mr. McLean?
Where do you live? Currently, he's residentially challenged, Your Honor. I can get my notes on that. But he will be staying in the Atlanta area for now.
Okay, I just don't want to I don't want to set him up to fail, Mr. McLean. So, I mean, I think that 5 months is too long as far as the court's concerned to revoke. I would like to consider putting him back on probation, but I don't want to set him up to fail that he's going to be right back here and facing another revocation.
Right. And he's mentioning to me that he has heard about Gateway. I don't know if he's ever been there, but he's beginning to become more aware of the resources in town, and Gateway would be fine if you can follow through.
Okay, so if you'll give him information on Gateway. Mr. O'Malley, I'm going to give you the opportunity to go back on probation, but if you don't report and if you don't do this class, then you're just going to be right back here. So okay, so I'm going to give you the opportunity. I'm going to reinstate your probation, but make sure that you report. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I hope not to see you back here, Mr. O'Malley.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can we do a report within 48 hours upon release, please?
Okay.
Listen to
So-
this. Oh, yes, yes. I'd excuse him from the chair. Listen to.
Okay.
Carefully. Yeah, 48
Miss-
hours. Yes, 48 hours to report to that address, 132 Mitchell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you. everyone.
Okay,
Thank you.
Your Honor, can probation be excused? That'll be it for probation.
yes, have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
You too,
Yep.
thank you.
Next, we have position 16 and 17, Ms. Hanks for Ms. Attorney Watson Cafe.
And are you with me, Ms. Watson Cafe?
I am. I was trying to see. Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, you're fine. What are we doing with Ms. Hanks today?
It's gonna be a plea. I don't know if I can, I was trying to pre-try with the state still.
Okay, so you need to speak with someone in the solicitor's office?
Yeah, I'm speaking with them via chat just to
Oh,
try to
okay.
negotiate some of the terms of the plea. If Your Honor would give me us a few more minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Just resolved today.
Okay, just let me know when you're ready. So we'll have to come back to Ms. Hanks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Can we do position number 6, Byrd? Position number 27, and he refused to come out. Mr.
Okay.
Morris.
So who's representing Mr. Byrd?
That would be. Tim Bird. You got Bird. Okay. Bird.
They get the court roll,
And Your Honor, there was after further discussion with the ASC, I believe this will be a negotiated plea. I didn't have a chance to convey that to Mr. Byrd. If the ASC, if Ms. Stafford could convey that, see what Mr. Byrd wants to do.
Yes, Your Honor. State's offer is 12 months to serve 28 days. Credit for time served 14 days. Balance probated with BHET.
Mr. Dotis?
I would just ask Mr. Byrd. That's what we discussed. So that would be no additional jail time. You just have to do that BHET. Do you want to go forward with a negotiated plea?
Do you want to go with the plea?
What's the plea?
If he,
What's
Can I have 4 North call courtroom 2? That might be a little bit easier.
I don't have a phone up here, Dotis.
Can I do a quick breakout room with my laptop and 4 North?
Okay,
He just,
You gotta get out the daytime, sir.
so can we put Mr. Dotis' laptop and 4 North into a breakout room, please?
Justin Worthy.
No, you don't see anything.
Oh,
Can we do position 43, Mr. Worthy, while they do the breakout?
Okay,
Oh, Mr. Worthy is the gentleman that I mentioned may wish to do this pro se. It is a rather simple offer, so I don't see any reason why he shouldn't.
have you helped him with the paperwork, Mr. McLean?
I have not filled out the paperwork yet, Your Honor, but I'd be glad to do so. Just take a minute.
Okay, so why don't we do that first? Mr. Worthy, if we can, is there a reason that you don't want to be represented by, we have a lawyer there that would help you, Mr. Worthy. Is there a reason that you don't want him to help you?
No particular reason. I just wanted to make it a speedy trial, and whichever way, it will be fine with me.
Okay, so it's my understanding that you're wishing to plead guilty to this charge. Is that wrong?
Yes, I am.
A speedy
Okay,
trial means
so-
going to trial on a not guilty.
I mean, a speedy case.
speedy case. I got you.
Okay, so Mr. Worthy, if you'll allow me to let Mr. McLean help you, okay? Will you allow that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Worthy. So, Mr. McLean, why don't you, I don't know if you can help him with that. Mr. Dodd is speaking with a client.
Right.
So I guess we'll have to be in a brief recess until you all are ready to proceed.
Your Honor, if I put us on mute, I think in about a minute, because it's such a small, simple case.
Okay,
I'll show him where I'm going to sign his name for him.
okay. And I see Ms. McLeod's back on the line. I don't know if we have any of her clients that we can proceed with.
I have Mr. Kofer, Your Honor, and he's supposed to be taking a plea this week.
Put that there. I'll put the case.
I have Mr. Cofer.
You sign here, I'll sign there.
McLean, can you talk to him? Where they do not just over here for me. Position 9, Mr. Cofer.
So I have Mr. Kofa as position 7, 8, 9, and 10. Is that
That
right?
is correct, Your Honor. He has 4 cases.
Okay, and what are we doing with Mr. Kofa this morning?
Your Honor, I have been in communication with the state for the past few weeks, and an offer was presented, which my client wanted to take. We just had an issue on 2 things, which I have not been able to resolve, even though I've sent a few emails back and forth. So I would say it's going to be a non-negotiated plea.
Okay. Let's see. Good morning, Mr. Kofer. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Let's see. Ms. Tyson, can I get Mr. Kofer's history, please?
Yes, one moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Kofer, he has 43 arrest cycles beginning in 1996. He has a misdemeanor conviction for theft by shoplifting. Disposition date on that is April 2014. He does have a felony conviction out of Fulton County for aggravated assault. Disposition date on that is July of 2015. He has another felony, theft by shoplifting. Same disposition date, July of 2015. One FTA and 2 violations of probation. And it appears he does have a GCIC indicates an active warrant out of Atlanta for an FTA. It was signed May 30th of 2023. And then also another warrant out of South Fulton for a simple battery case. That warrant was signed February of 2022. Nothing to add, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Stafford, is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's just start with position 7 and go down.
Okay. Would you like a recitation of the facts, Your Honor?
Yes, please.
Okay. For position 7, this happened on September 27th, 2018 at 4175 Boulder Ridge Drive Southwest. At approximately 8:30 a.m., officers were dispatched to that location in reference to a physical altercation. Upon arrival, they spoke to the victim, Ms. Shayna Burton, who stated that her and the defendant got into a verbal dispute inside of her car. He then poured the drink that he had on her and the inside of the vehicle and then struck her in the face several times with the can. The officers were able to observe the victim's face, which was swollen and red. For position 8.
Okay, so go ahead and give me the state's recommendation for.
Yes, Your Honor, I
position
apologize.
7.
So
No,
for
you're fine.
For position 7, the state's recommendation was 12 months to serve, 160 days, credit for time served, 80 days, balance probated, no further contact with the victim, Shayna Burton, and 6 weeks anger management.
Okay, and Ms. McLeod, did you or your client have any objections to this recommendation?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, so let's go to the next one. Position 8.
Okay, position 8. This happened on December 19th, 2019. On that day, officers responded to the area near I-20 and Holmes Drive in reference to a traffic crash with injuries. The officer was advised by dispatch that a vehicle that was stopped in the emergency lane on the shoulder was struck by another vehicle. Once the officers arrived, they spoke to the victim, who stated that he was in fact stopped in the emergency lane when the defendant hit him in the rear. Officers went to speak to the defendant, and while speaking to the defendant, they noticed that every time that they spoke to him, he would look away. The officer also could smell the odor of alcohol on his breath, and his eyes were bloodshot and watery. Officers conducted a field sobriety test on the defendant, and the defendant displayed multiple cues that he was intoxicated. He also refused a breath sample, and while in transport, the defendant voluntarily stated that he had gotten into trouble at work and he went to a club and had a few drinks before he started driving. The state's recommendation for this position is 12 months to serve, 90 days, credit for time served, 45 days, balance probated, 40 hours of community service, VIP risk reduction, $300 fine, and APET.
Any objection to this recommendation, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. The issue I had was anything that involved fines for him. Because he's been locked up for so long, and he tells me that he's lost everything. He doesn't have any money, doesn't have a car, doesn't have a home, nothing. So these fines were the big issue that I had. And also probation, which I could not get clarification as to whether the probation would last more than 2 years. So those were the 2 sticking issues.
Okay, so if I converted the $300 fine to 30 hours of community service, would that be agreeable with your client?
Mr. Kofa, would that be agreeable with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and do you have any objection to that, Ms. Stafford, converting the fine to community service?
No objections, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll convert the 30 hours of community of the $300 fine to 30 hours of community service by consent of everyone. Is he given that he's gonna have a lot of community service and a lot of fines, you would think that he'd want to be on probation for as long as possible. Now, what I can do, Ms. McLeod, is that if you want to have this run concurrent, we can have it run concurrent, give him 2 years to complete the terms. And if he gets them done prior to the 2 years, then we can terminate the probation. Oh, well,
yes,
it could go to a non-reporting status. I don't think we can terminate.
We're fine with that, Your Honor. It's just that I could not get clarification. And I had sent a few emails as to whether or not, because some said concurrent and some said consecutive. And I just wanted to know, cumulatively, would it be more than 2 years? Because if it was 2 years, then we would be okay with that. We just didn't want it to be more than 2.
Is 2 years enough for this? Ms. Stafford, do you all have any disagreement with him being on probation for 2 years?
I have no objections to that, Your Honor. Based on what we offered, I think he should be able to if you're converting his fines to community service, I think he should be able to complete it in that time.
Okay, so we will have the battery visible harm. He'll be on probation. The second case will run concurrent with the first case. Will run consecutive to the first case, and then the other 2 cases will also run concurrent. So it'll make him have 2 years total. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor, that would be fine.
Okay, and so for position number 9, is the only objection if you'll go ahead for position 9, Ms. Stafford, and just state what the recommendation is.
Yes, Your Honor, 12 months to serve, 90 days, credit for time served, 45 days, balance probated, 40 hours of community service, BIP risk reduction, $1,000 fine, ADET.
Okay, so we can convert the $1,000 fine to 100 hours of community service, okay? Any objections to that?
No, Your Honor.
No objections, Your Honor.
Okay, and for the final position, number 10, what's the recommendation?
12 months to serve, 60 days, credit for time served, 15 days, balance probated, FVIP, no further contact with the victim, LaShante Freeman, and stay away from 4590 Washington's Road.
Okay, any objection to that, Ms. McLeod?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see, Ms. Champion, did you get all that?
Okay, on the last case, it's 12 months to serve, 60 days, credit for time served, 15 days.
Yes, that was what
So
the
he has
recommendation
additional
was.
time to serve.
Yes, that's my
okay.
that's my understanding.
No, Your Honor, he was not supposed to spend any more time. That was my understanding. It was a time served on that one.
Okay, well, that's why I asked if there was any objection. So, how long has he been in total?
It's over 160.
I'm looking now, Your Honor. According to Odyssey, it says 84 days, Your Honor.
But how long has he been in on this charge? Do we know? I just want to make sure that the jail gives him the appropriate amount of time. If was it your intent, Ms. Stafford, that this be a time served plea or not?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe it was my intent for it to be a time.
Okay, so why don't we just do this? Why don't we say 12 months to serve, 30 days, credit for time served, 15 days. That will be time served with the rest of the conditions. Any objection to that?
No objections, Your Honor.
Ms. McLeod?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Champion, do we have everything for the paperwork?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Okay, anything further before I take the plea, Ms. Stafford, Ms. McLeod?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Kofer, it's my understanding in position 7, case number 18, CR 009432Y, you wish to plead guilty to battery, physical harm. In position number 8, case number 21, CR 003931Y, you wish to plead guilty to DUI less safe and failure to maintain lane. Position number 9, case number 21, CR 003877Y, you wish to plead guilty to school zone speed violation, knowingly driving a motor vehicle on a suspended or canceled registration, no insurance, and driving under the influence of drugs. And position 10, case number 23, CR 002332Y, you wish to plead guilty to battery, family violence, and obstructing or hindering persons making an emergency telephone call. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
I do.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
I will accept the pleas as negotiated. Mr. Kofer, you will be on probation for 2 years. But if you complete the terms of the probation before that 2-year period is up, the probation will go to a non-reporting status, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Kofer.
Position 6, Bird.
And this will be a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay.
And position 14, Mr. Edwards, he didn't get up, he wouldn't come out.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Byrd. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Byrd? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Byrd. Ms. Stafford?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation was 12 months to serve, 28 days, credit for time served, 14 days, balance probated with BHET.
Okay, Mr. Dotis?
Thank you, Your Honor. That's our understanding of the offer. Would ask this court to accept it, and we do stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the purpose of this plea.
Okay. Mr. Byrd, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003994E, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery against a police officer, pedestrian in a roadway, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, and one other misdemeanor offense. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Byrd. When you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status, okay? So the sooner you get this done, the sooner you don't have to report to probation, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Byrd.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I understand that we are also ready on position 16 and 17, Ms. Watson Cafe's case.
I'm sorry, can you please repeat that again, Judge?
1617 Watson Cafe's case.
I understand that that they're ready on that case. whenever
Yes.
you are.
We have a negotiated plea for your consideration.
Okay.
And Your Honor, my business is concluded for this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, I got to see you this afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
I haven't been asked, Your Honor, but.
Okay, we'll see you next
if I
time.
am, I will.
Have a good day. Thank you. So, good morning, Ms. Hanks. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Judge Morrow. Hope you're doing good.
I am good. Well, good. I've seen you before, Ms. Hanks. So,
Yeah.
okay. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm your testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Ms. Hanks. Yes, Ms. Nimini.
Okay, the state is going to dismiss position 16. But the defendant will take a plea for 12 months to serve, 42 days, credit for time served, 21 days, balance probated, family violence intervention program, no further contact with defendant, stay away from 5007 Upper Elm Street, third party transfer with Mr. Kenyatta Beverly, and waive probation fees for the first couple of months.
Okay, so position 16, a null pros will be submitted by the state. Position 17, she's going to plead guilty to battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is that my understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Watson Cafe?
That's my understanding of the negotiated plea. I just want to make sure that that's not Ms. Hanks' address. I believe that that's the victim's address. They live apart, Your Honor.
Okay, where do you want her to stay away from, Ms. Nimini?
The victim's address, the 5007 Upper Elm Street. Your Honor.
Okay, is that your understanding, Ms. Watson Cafe?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I don't have the address in front of me. That's why
Okay,
I just want to confirm that it was the correct address and not her address.
okay, that's not your address. The Upper Elm Street, Ms. Hanks, that's not your address, right?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and that's Mr. Beverly's or Kenyatta Beverly's address?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Anything further before I take the plea, Ms. Watson Cafe?
And I'm sorry if I'm repeating, we also requested a third-party transfer. They share a minor infant together. And she's the primary caregiver for their daughter. Other
Okay.
than that, no.
All right. Ms. Hanks, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003800C, you wish to plead guilty to battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the third degree. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Highly.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I will accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Hanks. I am going to waive 3 months of your probation fees to help you get and stay on your feet. There'll be third-party transfer of any minor children for visitation. And when you complete the terms, it'll go to a non-reporting status, okay? So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you don't have to report to probation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Your
All
Honor.
right. You're welcome. Good luck to you, Ms. Hanks. I
Thank
don't want to
you.
see you again, okay?
You won't.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good afternoon, Ms. Watson Cafe. Good to see you as always.
Good
Who do
to
we
see you.
have next? Thanks.
Position 28, Mr. O'Malley.
This is the same person as that 7-8 revocation.
Oh, okay. And what are we doing with him on this matter?
1 count theft by shoplifting, time served, balance probated, take the theft class and stay away from the location.
Okay. Did he has to take a theft class for the am I remembering that wrong? He has a theft class that he has to take for the probation case also, right?
Right, probably 1 theft class would probably satisfy both.
Right, okay. It should. All right. Yes, Ms. Nimini. Mr. O'Malley, you're still under oath, okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Nimini.
Yes, Your Honor, 12 months to serve 32 days. Credit for time served 16 days, bonds probated, and as previously mentioned, the anti-theft course, and to stay away from the 1723 Lakewood Avenue Southeast, and that's a Family Dollar.
Mr. McLean?
He asked the court to accept his negotiated plea of guilty as he stipulates to venue, identification, and factual basis, Your Honor.
Mr. O'Malley, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003921A, you wish to plead guilty to theft by shoplifting, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I will accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. O'Malley. When you complete the anti-theft course, the probation is going to terminate. So the sooner you get that anti-theft course done, assuming you're not going to be on probation on this case, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. O'Malley.
Right.
Position 43, Worthy.
Your Honor, I'm going to represent him. I've signed his name on his behalf on the paperwork. And that's with his express permission.
Okay.
Thing.
All right, thank you for allowing the court to have Mr. McLean help you with this, Mr. Worthy, okay? Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Worthy. Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is 14 days time served, balance suspended with the condition of a stay away from the incident location. 410 Mazie, MAISIE Court in Alpharetta, Georgia.
Okay, Mr. McLean?
Correct, Your Honor. That's what we expected to hear in the way of terms. So, excuse me. So it is a negotiated plea, and he does stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
Okay. Mr. Worthy, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003966G, you wish to plead guilty to loitering and prowling, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Worthy. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Position 19, Hester.
And let's see, are we gonna need an arraignment on this, or you're gonna waive arraignment?
Yes, Your Honor, for positions 19 and 20, we will be waiving arraignment and entering plea of not guilty and requesting to address bond on both cases.
Okay, let's see, Ms. Tyson, can you give me Mr. Hester's history, please?
Yes, Mr. Hester has 15 arrest cycles beginning in 2001. His last arrest was April of 2023 in Palmetto. Let's see, it was for battery family, two counts of battery family violence, first offense, and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the second degree. No disposition. I'm sorry, disposition is listed. It appears that the cruelty to children is second degree. The 2 counts, those counts were dismissed June of this year. He has 2 violations of probation and 1 FTA. Nothing to add, Your Honor.
Was there a conviction on the battery family violence, the 2 counts?
No, it didn't. It has no disposition is listed for those. It's just that the 2 counts of the cruelty to children were dismissed, but nothing listed for those other 2 counts of the battery family violence.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Nutmany, can you give me the facts of these 2 cases?
Yes, Your Honor. So for the first case that occurred March 28th of 2022 at 9100 Cascade Palmetto Highway, officers arrived at the mentioned location and met with Ms. Angela Houston. She was bleeding from her nose, and she told officers that her boyfriend, the defendant, punched her in the nose after she told him that she no longer wanted to be in a relationship with him. Ms. Defendant was not at the scene when the officers arrived. The defendant, not the defendant, but Miss Angela Houston does claim that defendant was angered by the conversation and has a history of violence and previous disputes between the parties. Miss Houston has also been wanting to end the relationship, but defendant keeps coming back to her residence unannounced. The state does require a bond to stay as it is at the 5K surety bond. And for the second case, that occurred February 1st of 2022, where defendant striked Angela Hester multiple times on her head, causing a laceration on her nose and a knot on her forehead in front of their son SH, who was a newborn baby. So the state is also asking, based with his repeated offense with family violence, to keep it set at the 20,000 surety bond, Your Honor.
What's the breakdown of the bond? For
It's just straight. It's not breaking down at all.
And do you know whether or not I issued these bonds, or did someone else issue them? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I could check though. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Your Honor, and according to Odyssey, he does have an open CP case 23 CP 217089 for criminal damage to property in the second and simple battery.
Okay, and that's an open case in state court.
It's a CP case right now, so it's
okay.
unindicted right now. It's a felony criminal damage to property.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Dutters?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Hester is 39 years old and he has been in custody for the past 71 days on a $25,000 surety bond that he cannot afford. He is requesting a signature bond. For the first case, it's a $5,000 surety bond. For the second case, it was originally a $20,000 surety bond under a CP number. That was brought back down to state court. So he won't need to be given a bond now that it's two misdemeanor charges. Mr. Hester has also asked me to acknowledge, and I did look this up, we have questions regarding his history that was read. He has a twin brother, Zatari Hester, who is in the system as well. I looked up one of my client, Zaki Hester's cases. That case number is 23 CR 001737A. And that is actually a case for Mr. Zaki Hester. So we will need time to go through these cases to make sure that my client is being charged on these. He says he only has 8 cycles and is unclear on these other open cases he's heard about today. But we will need time to confirm that and look that up. I do have good contact information for my client, Mr. Hester, along with his mother's contact information. He's a lifelong resident of the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia, and he does have a good address that he can stay to and receive mail at with his mother's house that the alleged victim does not have access to. He financially provides for his children. He's a father of 5 kids. 2 of them are minors. One of the children he does share with the alleged victim, and he understands that if allowed to have contact, that could only be through a third party. He has also tells me that he's raised 10 kids, including a previous girlfriend. He considers himself their father, even though he's not biologically theirs. Mr. Hester did receive his GED and is currently employed with Clint Shackelford Construction doing concrete work. He can return as of now. That job is waiting for him and wants the opportunity to continue providing for his family. He maintains his innocence. He is clear that in the future he can have no further contact with Miss Houston, and he does want third-party contact to be a part of this 21-month-old child's life. He does understand the severity of these accusations and would accept any conditions this court deems sufficient to ensure the safety and well-being of any victims, including the complaining witness as well as the community. And again, he is requesting a signature bond and cannot afford any monetary amount of bonds.
Okay, Mr. Dutters, on these charges, I'm reticent to give him a signature bond, but what I will do is on position number 20 with the 2 battery family violence charges, it will be $2,500 good bond per charge, makes for a total of a $5,000 good bond. With all the stipulations of the previous bonds, no further contact, stay away. You can include a third-party transfer for visitation of the minor children, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Did you get that, Mr. Doders?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, for position number 19, since that allegedly happened after position number 20, I'm going to leave that bond as it is, the $5,000 good bond. So it's going to be a total for both a $10,000 good bond.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Hester.
Judge Morrow, as far as
Yes.
position number 2, Mr. Beaver, he's Mr. Murphy's client. I'm not sure if he will be joining us today.
Okay, let's see if we'll try to get Mr. Murphy. If not, this is this case will be reset, I guess, till next Tuesday. It's not a time served plea. So if we don't raise Mr. Murphy by the end of the court, we will reset this till next Tuesday.
Okay, we're complete here in courtroom 2.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
So for now, I'll just put Mr. Beaver in the back, and then hopefully by the end of the calendar.
Okay. What about positions number 13, Dodson, and 14, Edwards?
Your Honor, for position 13, I do need a breakout room with Mr. Dodson once they appear on Zoom. I have a social room for that. For position 14, Mr. Edwards did refuse to come out, so I'm just going to go ahead and request that he be put on the competency calendar.
Okay. Let's see. When is the next competency calendar? Do we know, Ms. Champion? And what about position number 24?
Position 24, Your Honor, I was unable to interview yesterday. I was hoping jail staff would have him on Zoom for me to speak with.
Okay.
Judge, the next competency calendar will be July 20th. Will Mr. Dodus be submitting an order?
Yes, I'll be submitting an order.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Position 27, Adam Morris.
Let's see, I have that as a negotiated plea with 8 hours of anger management to make a probation, Your Honor. Although the offer simply said 30 days to serve, I believe he does have the requisite amount of credit for release.
Okay. What about position 31, Jasmine Sherman?
That's a negotiated plea as well, Your Honor. We're going to plead to the criminal trespass, which is not being in the right place. We're going to plead to the criminal trespass and damage to property as one phrase, which is a minor damage to a window that was was apparently forced at some point. But on the drug-related objects, after looking carefully at the police report, the state has agreed to drop that case and they'll submit an all process.
Okay, position 33, Sarles.
We'll waive presence and waive arraignment for not guilty.
Okay, so you're gonna file a waiver in position 33?
Yes, Your Honor, we'll file a written waiver of
Okay.
arraignment and presence as well.
Oh.
He had another court and he was afraid of missing it. And so he had another schedule he thought.
Okay, position 41, Williams.
41 is a conflict that the Odyssey said that it needs conflict attorney, Ms. McLeod.
Okay, so we will, I guess, reset this for a week till next Thursday.
The offer was 12 months to serve anyway, so.
Right, yes. Thank you, Mr. Walker. And let's see, who do we have in medical?
Position 31, Sherman.
And by the way, Your Honor, position number 30, Rodriguez, he was in MOU, male observation unit. I could not speak to him because he was not available. I've been told it's for a medical reason. I'm not sure of detail.
Okay, would you like to discuss the case now? Medical, can you all call courtroom 2?
I don't have Mr. Rodriguez. I have Ms. Sherman. So Mr. Rodriguez, he's on the male side.
Right, Ms. Sherman's here on female medical, but Mr. Rodriguez is male medical.
Okay, so what position do we have before me?
This is 30.
That's position 31, pleading to 2 out of 3 counts.
Okay. So this is Ms. Sherman.
Yes.
Yes. Good morning, Ms. Sherman. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Thank you, Ms. Sherman. Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Sherman will be entering a guilty plea to 1 count of criminal trespass and damage to property. The additional count of criminal trespass will merge. And in exchange for that guilty plea, we will be null processing the possession of and use of drug-related objects. The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 38 days. Credit for time served, 19 days. Balance suspended with the conditions of a stay away from the incident location, 1075 Woodland Avenue, and no further contact with the victim, Ms. Nikivia Myers. And there is no restitution.
Okay. Mr. McLean?
Very good. I understand the balance suspended in the no restitution portion, and I believe she does as well. So that's a negotiated plea, and we would ask the court to accept her stipulation of venue, identification, factual basis, and accept her negotiated plea.
Mr. Sherman, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003869J, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir, I am.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir, I have not.
I will accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Sherman. Good luck to you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Sherman, that stuff we talked about with probation, that will not be a requirement on you, so good luck. You won't be going to probation. Stay out of trouble.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go check on Mr. Rodriguez, position 30, to see if he can come out, and I just let you know when I come back up.
Okay, thank you.
Judge Morrow, did you want me to, are you gonna reset position number 2, Mr. Beaver?
Yes, well, we'll reset him till Tuesday.
Mr. Murphy just informed he need 1 week reset.
Okay, so next Thursday.
which is the 20th. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So we have a few more to get through on the 11 o'clock calendar. While we do that, wait for those, can we, Mr. Howard, Mr. Walker, can we go ahead and do the competency calendar?
That is ready, Your Honor.
Mr. Howard, are you with me?
I'll shoot him a text, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Ms. Kia, I have Ms. Penna right here.
Okay, what position is this?
She's,
I would like to please, Your Honor, that you
Hold on,
take
hold
me
on.
to express myself out of the handcuffs, please.
Okay, hold on. Let me,
Look, this is a fake Doctor of Puerto Rico with store licenses. That mark? Yeah. So you know what is happening.
Officer Milton, again, I'm not sure who I have before me.
She's on the competency calendar, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
So this
We
is,
may need a Spanish.
look at this. You don't know, fake doctors stealing license in Puerto Rico, okay? No international press too. I sent some kind of evidence to a TV channel. Or
Miss-
things that are happening around. I just want to tell you it's not, okay? And
Okay,
this is
hold on,
conflict
hold
of
on.
interest.
Hold on, ma'am, hold
No,
on.
hold on.
Give me a
I'm
minute.
sorry.
Okay, let me
I'm
get
sorry.
your attorney present, okay? Okay, hold on. Mr. Walker,
Yes, Your Honor.
what position is she on the competency calendar?
Let me check. I believe it was position 20. Yeah, position 20.
Okay. Okay, I remember her from last week, I believe. And Derek's not responding?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Okay.
Did we ask Kasha if he was in the jail? There.
I haven't seen him in courtroom 2 this morning, but Do we have someone at medical?
Judge Martis, Officer Blunt, Mr. what's his name? Position number 30, he cannot come out.
Okay,
It is a medical reset. Mr. Rodriguez, position number 30.
okay,
All right.
thank you.
Are we gonna reset him to next Thursday, Your Honor?
Let me ask, is this Mr. McLean's case, Mr. Dotis?
Yes, sir, he's coming over.
So, so he
Yes,
needs to,
Your Honor. I will continue to endeavor to see if there is a way to talk to him.
do you want to reset him for Tuesday or Thursday?
Thursday, I believe.
Okay, 1 week reset.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I think we might have announcements to wrap up the SAP calendar if you want to go through it.
Okay, very good. What are the announcements?
I think we resolved all the announcements. We're gonna ask for some resets. I'm not sure of the position numbers. I wrote down their names. If we could go through it to make sure we have everyone. I'm happy to address as we get to them. Does that make sense? Or I can try to list them.
Okay, I have that we still need to address position 24, Jermaine Jones.
Your Honor, position 24, I was unable, jail staff was unable to locate him yesterday and today. I'd asked for a reset to Tuesday. I'm gonna go speak with classifications to track.
Okay.
down.
So we'll reset Jermaine Jones until next Tuesday. I also have position 27, Adam Morris.
He refused to come out.
Mr. Morse refused to come out, so we'd also request 1 week reset.
Okay, reset till next Thursday. And let's see,
Position 13, where I'm also gonna request a 1 week reset so that I can have a social worker go out to see him. I was unable to arrange that today.
Oh, Your Honor, on Adam Morris, we don't mean that he refused visitation yesterday. He just refused to come to court today. He was going to be a negotiated plea.
okay, well, that's fine to reset. Mr. Dodson, I'm sorry, position 13, you want him reset till when, Mr. Dodds?
Your Honor, next Thursday, I need to make sure I have time for social worker to go speak with him.
Okay, we'll reset him until next Thursday. Does that take care of everyone on the state all-purpose calendar?
Yeah, I believe it does.
Okay.
Just
So-
tomorrow, good morning.
Yes, good
Sorry.
morning. No,
It's Captain Dooley. I'm an ACDC with Officer Milton, assisting with Ms. Pena. I think she's position 22. She's been talking the entire time we've sat her down. She's not listening. And I don't think she's gonna be able to sit through an evaluation.
okay, so I was trying to wait till her attorney joined us, but it does not appear that he is on. Oh, here we go. Mr. Howard?
I don't know if you can hear her. She's still yelling. She's getting more and more
No.
agitated.
Mr. Howard?
Yes, Judge, now I can. You can-
Okay, so Captain is telling me that Ms. Pena, who is here, is getting more agitated. Do we need her for the hearing today?
Yes, we can deal with her case first, Judge.
But she's not gonna be quiet for you to say anything.
Okay, all right. Well, we can, yeah,
You
if she's, yeah, okay, all right. So Judge, we can talk with her without her being present at this point, so they can
All right.
Okay.
take it back.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Okay, before we go into the, I want to finish up with state all-purpose before we
Okay.
go competency calendar. So,
Okay.
let's see. Are we ready to go over the calendar, Ms. Champion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Whenever you're ready.
Position number 1 was reset further notice, arrange jail jury. Position number 2 is going to be reset SAP to next Thursday, which is the 13th. Position number 3 was a plea. Position number 4 was a plea. Position number 5 was a plea. Position number 6 was a plea. Position number 7, 8, 9, and 10 were pleas. Position number 11, I don't have anything down for that.
My apologies. Position 11 was Tyreek Daniel. He mentioned that he had a private attorney. I'm just gonna request a 1 week reset. This isn't what's holding him, so I want to try and get in contact with his private attorney to see if he's also handling this case.
Okay, so that position will be reset to next Thursday, 7/13. Position number 12, reset further notice, waiver of arraignment, jail jury. Position number 13 is going to be reset to the SAP next Thursday, 7/13. Position Number 14 is going to be reset to the SAP competency on 7/20. Position number 15, defendant was released, reset further notice. Position number 16 is gonna be a null pros. Position number 17 was a plea. Position number 18 was a plea. Position number 19 was reset further notice, jail jury. Position number 20 was reset jail jury, further notice. Position 21, reset further notice. Position 22 was reset further notice jail jury. Position 23, reset further notice jail jury. Position 24 is going to be reset to the SAP next Tuesday, 7/11. Position 25 is reset further notice with the amended $1,000 sign-on bond through the jail. Position number 26 is going to be reset further notice jail jury. Position 27 is reset SAP 7/13. Position 28 was a plea, 29 was a plea. Position 30 is going to be reset 7/13 medical. Position 31 was a plea. Position 32 was a plea. Position 33 reset further notice jail jury. Position 34 was a plea. 35 was a plea. Position 36 reset further notice jail jury. Position 37 reset further notice jail jury. Position 38 reset further notice jail jury. Position 39 reset further notice jail jury. Position 40 was a plea. And I showed that position 41, Nathaniel Williams, defendant was released. Reset further notice. Position 42 is going to be reset further notice jail jury. Position 43 was a plea, and position 44 was reset further notice jail jury. Any questions?
Okay, thank you. Let's see if we can go into the breakout room now for the competency calendar, please.
Okay, Judge, that's Ms. Burgess, Mr. Walker, Ms. Champion, Mr. Howard, and
No problem, but I do.
is it anyone else?
Can we have the SG victim advocate, please?
I'm sorry, who was that, Mr. Walker?
SG victim advocate.
Okay, thank you.
And Nakasha.
Thank you, Kasha.
Mhm.
Courtroom 2.
Hello.
Hi, can you let them know that they're gonna need Carlton Hall off the competency calendar for a plea?
Okay,
So when someone comes back in there, so when they come back in, he'll be ready to take the plea.
I didn't hear the first name, last name, Hall,
Carlton.
Carlton, gotcha.
Okay, thank you.
Huh? So we do
Courtroom 2. Is anybody in courtroom 2?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Did Mr. McLean tell you that we needed Mr. Hall?
Yes.
He's en route to get him now, the office.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, 3 South, who do we have?
That is Mr. Hall.
Okay. But while we're waiting for probation, do you want to go ahead and do the plea? Or do you need to speak with him?
Actually, Judge, there is one modification I need to, that Mr. Walker's asking for the 6 weeks. We didn't discuss that. So if I can have a quick second to maybe have that conversation with Mr. Hall. Ms.
Okay.
Can you put us in a quick breakout with me with 3 South right quick? FC State Court.
Yeah, what did we say we was doing with position 10?
He played that case out.
Okay, understood.
That's in December of 21. That's gonna be the case. That's probation.
Mr. Howard, who you wanted to break out? I'm sorry.
Who's just the camera, Mr., they were just on camera. Mr.
I'm
Hall.
thinking they dropped off the call, Derek.
Yeah, well, that's who I need in with me, Mr. Hall. His phone, probably Deputy Duffy's phone.
Yes.
3 South, okay, there you go, 3 South. Yeah.
So you want who now? I'm sorry.
Just me and 3 South, just quick.
Okay, just you and 3 South.
Yep.
Okay.
We could hit him. But no.
I pressed that one. It's still on.
We're finna go to breakout, Officer Duffy. Me and Mr. Hall.
And then Derek, do you realize he served 2 different amounts of time on the 2 cases?
Yeah. So whatever will make it time serve on each, right?
I think on the theft it was 98 days, and then on the battery, I believe I'm just gonna say 84 days because I know he's done at least 84 on that.
On the FT, on the and see, this is what Miss Champion, I don't know if you can help me, because see, that's what I hate about this new FTA stuff. You can't tell what case is associated with.
So I know he FTA'd.
These 3, the 3 FTA charges, are they related to these 2 cases? I was trying to go through the warrants and everything. It's so hard to tell.
I know it's related to 11 because he actually did FTA. That's reflecting on Odyssey. On 12, I don't see where he missed a court date, but I know he's done 2 stints of time. His first stint was 84 days on position 12. So on that one, I would say 84 days.
Okay, right. So even if we don't add any more time, he did 84 the first time on that.
Correct. On 12.
All right. Yep, I did see that.
Yeah, it was slightly confusing.
So 84 on 12 and 98 on 11.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Okay.
So you all ready?
Yes.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Hall. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the the state all-purpose calendar. Will say we're doing this by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Sir.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Hall. Mr. Walker.
Yes, for position 11, Your Honor, is going to be 12 months to serve, 98 days. Credit for time served, 98 days. Balance suspended with the condition of a stay away at 120 Chapel Road. Then for position 12, it's going to be 12 months to serve, 84 days. Credit for time served, 84 days. Balance probated with the conditions of a 6-week anchor management course and no further contact with the victim. Amin Sadri. That last name is spelled S-D-R-I.
Howard.
Yes, Judge, we asked the court to accept that plea as negotiated. we would ask that the probation fees be waived for a period of time since he's been spent a significant amount of time in custody, and we're not sure how long he'll be in Brookhaven. So we'd ask for at least 6 weeks, but probably if we could do 90 days, that would be great, Judge. And also we'd ask that the probation be allowed to terminate upon completion of the 6 anger management courses.
Any objection, Mr. Walker?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Hall, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 0040880A, you wish to plead guilty to theft by taking, and in case 22 CR 0051298, you wish to plead guilty to battery and simple assault. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this afternoon?
No, sir. Just been on my medications.
Okay, you've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. Hall, I am going to waive 3 months of your probation fees to help you get and stay on your feet. And when you complete the terms of the probation, it will terminate, okay?
All right.
All right, so that covers that. Good afternoon, Officer Harris. How are you?
I'm doing you good, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining us
You're welcome.
this afternoon. Do you are you ready to proceed with Mr. Hall's case?
Your Honor, probation's recommendation just as the time served his case and to close it.
No objection, Mr. Howard?
No objection. That's what we discussed yet.
Okay, so I'll accept your recommendation. Time served. Good luck to you, Mr. Hall.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care
you're
of us all.
Thank you.
welcome. I appreciate it, Officer Harris. Thank you.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
thank
Can I give the petition for you, Mr. Howard, so I can send it over to the judge to sign so we can get him released?
Okay, you emailed it to me?
I'm about to now.
Okay, I'll go back into jail and print it out and send it
Okay.
over. All right.
All right, that concludes my business, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good afternoon. Hopefully that concludes everyone's business. So I'll see you all next Thursday.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.